Sakata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Riti Andasto Hi Abhadrani Vidhunoti Sukrutsatam Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Tata Rajastamo Bhava Kamalopadayastaye Chedayadiranaviktam Sthitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasannamanaso Bhagavat Bhakti Yogada Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hrude Grandis Chityante Sarva Samshaya Chiyante Jasya Karmani Drashtayeva Manishware. So now we'll read the verse, and that is 1842. Toyi me ananya vishaya madir madhupade sakrit asakrit redim udvahata datha genge vaukham udanvati. Toyi me ananya vishaya madir madhupade asakrit redim udvahata atha genge vaukham udanvati. Synonyms. Toyi, unto you, unto you may my ananya vishaya, unalloyed, mati, attention, madhupade, O Lord of Madhu, asakrit, continuously, ritim, attraction, uddhahat, may overflow, atha, directly, Ganga, the Ganges, Iva, like, Okham, flows, Udanvati, down to the sea. Translation: O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. So, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Perfection of pure devotional service is attained when all attention is diverted towards the transcendental loving service of the Lord. To cut off the tie of all other affections does not mean complete negation of the finer elements, like affection for someone else. This is not possible. A living being, whoever he may be, must have this feeling of affection for others, because this is a symptom of life. The symptoms of life, such as desire, anger, hankerings, feelings of attraction, etc., cannot be annihilated. Only the objective has to be changed. Desire cannot be negated, but in devotional service, the desire is changed only for the service of the Lord, in place of desire for sense gratification. The so-called affection for family, society, country, etc. consists of different phases of sense gratification. When this desire is changed for the satisfaction of the Lord, it is called devotional service. In the Bhagavad Gita, we can see that Arjuna decided not to fight with his brothers and relations just to satisfy his own personal desires. But when he heard the message of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he changed his decision and served the Lord. And for his doing so, he became a famous devotee of the Lord. For it is declared in all the scriptures that Arjuna attained spiritual perfection by devotional service to the Lord in friendship. The fighting was there, the friendship was there, Arjuna was there, and Krishna was there. But Arjuna became a different person by devotional service. Therefore, the prayers of Kunti also indicate the same categorical changes in activities. Srimati Kunti wanted to serve the Lord without diversion, and that was her prayer. This unalloyed devotion is the ultimate goal of life. Our attention is usually diverted to the service of something which is non-godly or not in the program of the Lord. When the program is changed in the service of the Lord, that is to say, when the senses are purified in relation with the service of the Lord, it is called pure, unalloyed devotional service. Srimati Kunti Devi wanted that perfection and prayed for it from the Lord. Her affection for the Pandavas and the Vrishnis is not out of the range of devotional service, because the service of the Lord and the service of the devotees are identical. Sometimes service to the devotee is more valuable than service to the Lord. But here the affection of Kunti Devi for the Pandavas and the Vrishnis was due to family relation. This tie of affection in terms of material relation is the relation of Maya, because the relations of the body or the mind are due to the influence of the external energy. Relations of the soul established in relation with the Supreme Soul are factual relations. When Kunti Devi wanted to cut off the family relation, she meant to cut off the relation of the skin. The skin relation is the cause of material bondage, but the relation of the soul is the cause of freedom. This relation of the soul to the soul can be established by the medium of the relation with the super soul. Seeing in the darkness is not seeing, but seeing by the light of the sun means to see the sun and everything else which was unseen in the darkness. That is the way of devotional service. So please pray for me that I speak something worthy of this great prayer by Kunti Maharani. So the Srila Prabhupada has given a very detailed purport also. So we have seen in the past several verses in Kunti Maharani's the depth and breadth of her and the beauty of her heart, of a pure devotee actually. She says initially, I am after all woman, Krishna, how can I know you? But her prayers bring out the depth of her understanding the personality of Godhead. So here she is saying, as in yesterday's verse, she said, oh Krishna, let me just go. Please, this Neha Pasha, the Chindi, that is, please cut off these affections for my or my family ties to the Kurus and Vrishnis. By her birth, she is a Vrishni, and by marriage, she is a Kuru. So she is saying, please cut off this Neha Pasha, the tie of material affection. And in today's verse, she is saying, let all my affections go undivertedly to your lotus feet, just like the Ganges is constantly flowing towards the ocean. So she wants unalloyed devotion to the Lord. So you can say that, we can see that she is nicely established now as the mother of the reigning king, and she is all settled. But she is saying this is the depth of her realization, God realization. In India, the ancient kings, emperors, they were all great devotees of the Lord, that we have seen in numerous examples in the Bhagavatam. And in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord cites the example of Janaka Maharaj and such noble kings of the past. They have followed the teachings of the Vedas, and they have always been the Paramartha before them. That is the supreme goal of life. They are not living for just this body and bodily conception of life. So Kunti Maharani is saying, and that, oh Madhupate, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance. The river originates so high in the mountains, in the Himalayas, and it has a long, long way to reach the ocean. It might sometimes be in the valleys, sometimes be going around the mountains, anything, any obstacle, but its destination is to the sea, and that is an unwavering destination. Similarly, Kunti Maharani is saying, let all my attraction be to thy lotus feet, Krishna. Ananya Vishayana. And continuously, asakrit means continuously. That this is the devotee's life. That is in normal course of life. We have family, children, and the society at large, friends, and even the country we may serve, everything. But this is all of our certain designation, that we are, I am belonging to this household, I am belonging to this nation, and I am belonging to this religion, etc. But when we look at our factual relationship, these are all very temporary, and nobody is immortal in this world. Even Lord Brahma, Srila Prabhupada, in his talk about this verse, lecture on this verse, says, even Lord Brahma is not immortal. He has a very, very long lifespan, as we know, so many billions of years. But when Hiranyakashipu requested him that, he requested the boon of immortality, Lord Brahma said, even I am not immortal. I am not capable of giving you that boon. And then Hiranyakashipu asked in so many ways, let me be not killed by, and not killed at such and such time, etc., etc. So this everything in this world is very ephemeral or temporal, temporary nature, and we know in the Kali Yuga it is even more true. And because of the COVID situation, we know it is even more scary. Padam vipadam. That is the situation. So one's relationship with the absolute truth, eternity, that is what makes our life successful. So the realization of our constitutional position to the Lord, as Lord Chaitanya has taught us. Lord Chaitanya has said, Bharata Bhumile Janma, sorry, 1 second. That is one who has taken birth, fortunate to take birth in Bharatavarsha, in land of India. He should make first his life, apna life saft kari, and then kara para upapar, that is serve the others. First one has to perfect one's life and then serve the others. That is the order of that is our dharma. And that is, we have to make our life perfect by our devotional service to the Lord. That is in self-realization, and then help others. That is why Lord Chaitanya appeared in this Yuga Avatar, as Yuga Avatar, to teach that the principle of the Yuga Dharma for this age of Kali, the sacrifice to be engaged in, that is very simple. The chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and that is Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. That is, the age of Kali is full of faults, but there is one great quality about this age. That is simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, you can go back home, back to Godhead. So that is the advice of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then so our real business of life is to uh, to to get eternal life. That means we have to be knowledgeable about life after death. So many people may say, "Oh, after doing all this, I will die peacefully." I mean, these businesses are so important, and then the death will be so peaceful. So many people who are dying, they'll be so worried for the safety of their health, security of their family, everything. And last minute, they are not able to think about uh, the the Lord in their heart, because they have not established in the course of time, in the very busy rush of life, they have not found time to meditate on the Lord, to establish that real relationship. So this is what how the devotee's life differs uh, from the normal population. Because the devotees first take care of the spiritual, and then all the material follows. So that is the most important thing in human form of life. Because after taking so many millions of births, we have got this rare form of life, human form of life. So as Prahlad Maharaj says, Durlapamanava Janmam Iha I mean Tadar Tadar Tadapyatruvam Arthadam. That is, after many births, we have got this human form of life, and which seems like just as unimportant as that any other form of life, but we can make it meaningful by taking to the path of God realization. So, and a lot of people do not realize this principle of keeping the 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 true artha in the center of their lives. That is, innate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Swartha gatim hi Vishnu, in the language of Srimad Bhagavatam. They don't understand the highest self-interest is to take to the worship of the Lord, Supreme Lord. So there many people, they are so ignorant of life after death. In the Srila Prabhupada found out that in his conversations with so many famous Western scholars and everything, they do not know anything after the afterlife. Whereas in India, even an uneducated villager, he knows something about karma and rebirth. He is saying very humorously. So this is the benefit of taking birth in India. We know that there is life after death, and then what is the destination that we are going to? The Paramgati. That is what should drive us, in our daily course of life. Just like Bhagavan says, Yam laktva chaparam labham na anyati adhikam tatha. That is, getting to, getting this devotional service to me, they are not seeking for anything, any other gain. That is Bhagavad Gita 6:22. So, to live life Krishna conscious. That is the ultimate goal of life. And Kunti Maharani has come, is entering her, the last stage of her life. all her life has been, so to say, in the service of the Lord and his devotees. But at this moment, she is praying to Krishna, that let all my attraction, let me be completely absorbed in, in taking shelter of your lotus feet, and achieve the goal of life. She is not to be lost in Maya for any, the kingdom is, they her sons or any other powers or the riches of her land. She knows everything comes from the Krishna is the source of all their wealth and well-being and the protection, everything. She, so she has the heart to see the Lord, and now she sees him as the ultimate giver of freedom for the soul. Just like Bhishma Dev is lying on the bed of arrows, but he is instructing to Yudhishthira Maharaj what is the paradharma, that is the different kinds of dharmas he is instructing. And on top of it all, the paradharma, that is how to worship Lord Vishnu, and he recites the 1000 names of Lord Vishnu. So these souls are all very very great devotees of the Lord. So we have a lot to learn from their prayers, and these are all means for our improving our bhakti, our sadhana. And, because we can the prayers, that is when we read Bhagavatam, when these prayers of the great souls, our hearts become purified. We know the humility and devotion that is flowing there from in their words, very, very palpable. It and it touches our heart. And so here. So in devotional life, we are it is not that in cutting off the family ties or affection, that we are disregarding our relatives, friends, or children or anything, but we are recognizing the most important um, the source of everything, Krishna, recognizing Krishna as the source of everything, and our relationship with that supreme source. That is the original one, and that taking care of that alone, nurturing that alone, will take care of everything else, because Krishna says, Ananyas chindayando yo mam jana paripasade tesham nityabhyuktanam yogatshemam mahamyaham. That is, those who are unallowed devotees of mine, I carry for them what they lack and preserve what they have. So such is the total responsibility that Krishna takes for his devotees. And then if we do not have the devotion, whatever we have is all simply zeros. So only by putting Krishna in the front, that one in the front of all those zeros, everything adds up to something. So that is the message of this verse. So I think I will just stop here. It's almost 7:30, and please add. I know I have made a very skeletal, the representation of the whole purport, but please add and correct me if I have made some mistakes. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji. This is a very deep and very high level verse. But thank you for covering it so nicely, giving us the essence. A couple things are really striking for me, Mataji. One, you mentioned she's actually the mother of the emperor. Like Pandavas just became the rulers of the entire universe. So it's not that she is actually taking the shelter, even though in the earlier prayers she was mentioning of all the calamities and praying for that, but she is right now not in those calamities. She is actually kind of out of all that.
Yeah.
But in spite of that, we can see how strong that mood of surrender.
Yes.
That was really striking. I mean, at least in my example,
Yeah.
when there are things happening which are not in my control, and I understand, okay, I can't do anything, then I will take shelter of Krishna. Okay, you are in control.
Yeah.
But as long as things are moving okay, status quo, I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, just some mechanical chanting, hearing, and keep going with life. So this mood somehow is very inspiring, even though very high level, but just inspiring, just to see. It's not depending on that external circumstances, understanding how everything is coming from him, whether it's calamity or the other way around. And you're also bringing this point, Mataji, as we read these prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam, at times this thought comes to me. It's like so highly elevated. I mean, I can't even understand these things. So how am I supposed to follow them? But you have brought that point. Just by hearing, our heart is purified, and gradually we'll be able to understand, and by Krishna's mercy we can get the strength. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. I mean, yes, that is the